Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Walmart exclusive G.I. Joe Classified 2-pack, the Night Force, Falcon, and Quarrel. And let's just say there's a lot to unpack with this, and I'm not just talking about the contents of what's in here, but what these two figures kind of represent from all the way back from the 80s until now. And I'll get into that when we get into the video, but I'm going to kind of explain why the face sculpt is different. We're going to see if it actually fits on the other Falcon. Know this, it's like the worst face sculpt ever. Sorry, Lenny, you know it. I believe you admitted to it. And then we have Quarrel, and we're going to kind of explain who Quarrel is, why she's packed with him, why he's packed with her, and why she wasn't packed with the Ram Cycle that came with Night Force Shockwave. I have them both right here, and I think this is the reason why you're going to see so many people posing her with it. But we're going to get into that after, as I'm doing the review, so make sure you pay attention and listen, because I'll go over a few things, and I'll also give you a nice little, I won't call it a life hack, but a Joe hack. So you don't have to buy this 2-pack if you don't want to, if you just want to replace Falcon's face. So anyway, look at this. Here we go. New Falcon, new Buck. It's an old Buck with mixed and matched. And then we have Quarrel, who is, from what I understand, pretty much the Scarlet Buck. Got the Night Force logo on here. Again, once again, the Walmart exclusive. We have number 138. Some pretty good artwork there. Here we have their codes, their, I guess you call them their file cards. And then you have the QR code that leads you to hell. And then we have some awesome artwork. And once again, this is still leading into the whole Energon universe. You can see Dark Energon in here. They don't say it, but we all know exactly what it's supposed to be. So there you go. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of this. Let's get the hands in the screen, doing all kinds of stuff, looking at the figures. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like Joe stuff, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video. And we know there's so many more to come. Okay, so first we're going to look at Quarrel and everything that she comes with. But first, I want you to take a look at this picture here. That is what Quarrel is. Now, Quarrel comes from the Action Force UK, and thank you to Bacon and Toys blogger. That's where I got this picture, and I will actually drop a link in the description if you want to go over there and find out and read a little bit more. So, Quarrel is a repaint of Scarlet, and she also came with the Ram Cycle from everything that I can tell. Now, people kind of wonder, hey, well, why didn't they just do the Night Force Quarrel with the Night Force Ram Cycle rather than give it to Shockwave? Well, a couple reasons why I think that is. Alright, so I think the first reason that you're going to be talking is the fact that they need to sell her. Right? And if they put her with the Ram Cycle, most people aren't going to know that Quarrel is from the Action Force UK line and that she came with the Ram Cycle. So why not pair her with a figure, Falcon, that has a new face sculpt that everyone wants, knowing that they'll buy it. Originally, Falcon was supposed to come with the Dreadnought Heart Wrencher. That is what I have been told. That has now been put on hold, but it does mean Heart Wrencher is coming. Second, they needed to sell a Ram Cycle, because I'm sure Walmart wanted that exclusive, so they gave him Shockwave. Give him Shockwave, a different Buck, this motorcycle, and there you have it. And then you give Quarrel, and you make it so she has these Night Force colors, also has her normal green that she actually came with, and she can go with either motorcycle and people will be happy. So expect to see a lot of pictures with her on these two, and I think that is the reason why you didn't see her come with this and why she came with Falcon over here, and why put Heart Wrencher in here when you know that's going to be something people are going to buy. But let's get into everything else, as I've talked too much. So she comes with the the M16 with scope. It does have a removable magazine. I will mention this again. If you're like me and you have Action Force, Valaverse Action Force weapons, and you think that their magazines are tiny, this here with a little bit of sticky tack plugs in and it makes it look a little bit better. Actually, it makes them look a lot better because most of those weapons look pretty damn good. All right, so it's got this nice looking stock on it. Trigger guard. The grip has some detail to it. The barrel looks real nice here. Port for blast effects. It's pretty straight for the most part. Much stiffer than what we've had before. They really have fixed that, in my opinion, or at least they said they were going to be, and it looks like they are. So, nice looking weapon here. Now, this is not only the Scarlet Buck, but her loadout. Now, from what I understand, mostly, is when they're doing lines or doing figures and they want to throw in extra weapons, well, they're kind of kitted together. So that's why you'll see a specific character's loadout with a different figure, and some of the stuff may not make a lot of sense. All right, and some of the stuff on here, I think you'll understand. So here we have the crossbow. Now this piece does come off, and I really wish they wouldn't, because it is very frustrating on Scarlet. It continues to fall off. It does have the, it's not a scope, I believe it's a counterbalance, and maybe I'm right. Or actually, this is the hydraulic to actually fire this, or I think pull the actual wire back. I think that's what somebody told me. All right, detail on this is pretty good. All right, this here, obviously you can hold it. I believe it's meant to, again, there's a bunch of things. I could be completely wrong. But I think if you wanted to pull it out, pull back the wire, which you obviously can't see the cable there. I think that's what that is also used for. She has 4 different bolts. A normal bolt, this grappling hook bolt, another, I think this is a different bolt. Yeah, this one is has more of a pointed end to it, not really that different. And then same with this one. So they give them all different heads. Again, that's where some of your dollars go to when they're molding stuff. So there is a nice little piece right down here, not a little piece, but a little section. These things do plug right in, so you don't have to worry about them falling out. All right. Again, change out whichever one you want. But what I can tell you is, in her quiver, this one doesn't fit. So if you're gonna have them all in her quiver here, it's not gonna work. She comes with a knife. This knife has nowhere to go. It is a big, thick knife. It looks awful. There's no paint to it. Although it is stiffer than it was before. So maybe thin these out again. The original ones were thinner. I think we'll see over here. I don't think anyone's going to use that. She comes with a pistol. Again, I believe there's no spot for the pistol. Yeah. Oh, I take it back. There's a spot for the knife. There's no spot for the pistol. All right. She comes with the 2 fists, so she can punch. Again, this is the same stuff that came with Scarlet. Now looking at the... and she comes with the Steel Corps, Steel Brigade, whatever you want to call it. They call it the Steel Corps because they lost the rights. But you call it Steel Brigade, guess what? No one's coming in to take your figures away if you do. It has the Night Force logo on it. I really do like... I like the design of this, but I'm kind of over all these Steel Corps. I understand what they're doing, but I don't want to... I guess I don't need a lot of generic Army figures for G.I. Joe. But it does work because, let's be honest, they got to have some sort of backup. Helmet does look decent. We've seen this already before on the Steel Corps Troopers. This is just a different color and the Night Force colors. All right, so here is Quarrel, and here is our Scarlet. And quickly looking at it, it looks like the body's different. Just looking up at that is different. So underneath her chest plate, it's different. The arms are going to be the same. Legs are the same. Even the neck is the same. Head is completely different. And again, she does come with the quiver on the side. All right. So here she has the, oh, you know what? I guess that means this knife. Nice silver handle. See, it's thinner. I can deal with that thinness. It's just a really thick bluntness, and I understand why they were doing it. Whatever laws they had to get around to make it 4 and up. But this here looks way better. and that one's going to sheath right up here. All right. Actually, they had to do a different torso, or at least upper buck, her breast area, because Scarlet has a grenade up there. I'm sorry, flashbang. Don't want anyone to yell at me about this. So, all right. She has a nice earpiece, which looks awesome. It goes down into, that looks awesome. It goes down into it. I think that is cool. That has a nice look on it. Hair looks really good. All right. Look at the eyes. Don't see any issues with the paint. Got her eyebrows. Lips look pretty good. So, again, their paint has been much better. They talk about their inkjet printers. The neck here, that's obviously what wraps around for the earpiece. All right. It looks like she has some sort of neck guard. We get right into her plate carrier, where she has 3 different pouches, a small little red pouch up there, a timer of some sort, and then obviously a sheath. Right there you get the little belt that's going to hold it on, the clasp. It would be awesome if that was painted black, but I'm not going to get mad because there's enough paint on this. Here she has the shoulder pauldrons. I'm not a fan of shoulder pauldrons. They seem to fit on her fairly well. 3 pouches up there, nice and green. Over on this side, we're going to get the Night Force logo. I believe that is Night Force. All right. With her, it actually looks good, probably because it's not as bulky. Same quiver, just a little bit of green paint, so it goes a long way. There you see her belt. If you're wondering what that is, that plug is there because on the belt, if I can actually see it, I don't think I can show it. Well, there's a little port on the belt that's supposed to plug in to keep this in place. And I'll just tell you right now, it doesn't stay. But this is how you know how it's supposed to go. That actually plugs right in there, and it's supposed to stay in there. It doesn't work out that well. There she has her gauntlets. They run all the way down. She has the throwing stars. So if anyone's wondering, why does she have throwing stars? That's what the original Scarlet had. Paint is not the greatest on that, as you can see. So that's a little disappointing. And then she has the mini pistol underneath, which once again the original Scarlet had, which meant the original Quarrel had. You can see this thing just rode up already. A little pouch on her leg. Like, all this stuff can be removed, which is nice if that's what you want to do. And then we have another sheath in red there. And then you have the boots. Now I will tell you right away, the way her feet go up, this makes this figure hard to stand just straight up. It is very frustrating. So if I was to see this figure on a stand, I probably wouldn't be too mad. I would understand why. All right, now let's look at the articulation. Her head can look up, it can look down. It is not only on the peg here, but the neck is also different. I wish they could do a better job with it. Your T-pose here. She doesn't get a lot of movement, unfortunately. That's her T-pose. I would say that's not the greatest. Very disappointing. See if I can get it up more. Yeah, that's about as far as it goes up. Well, maybe it goes up if we... I think you have to dig it in. Oh, wait a minute. There's another logo right there. It looks like a Z, and I think that might have something to do with the old Action Force. I could be wrong. If you guys know what it is, please let me know. So there's your T-pose. I guess it's decent, but just be careful with it. She has her bicep swivel, double pinless joints. Again, if you have Scarlet, you know exactly what we're doing. Wrist swivel. And if anyone asks why you're doing this, well, guess what? Not everyone has, not everyone is in the line. There's your British mark. So, it is showing you, I believe that this is all going to go back to what Quarrel had originally. She can turn side to side. She does have that weird, it doesn't really do that well. It doesn't give you that much articulation. Just kind of lets her move back and forth. I always just call it the belly dancing cut. It's the, I can't think of what it's called. There's her Jean-Claude Van Damme drop down hips. All right, so that will allow you to sit her better in maybe the Vamp, this, or maybe if you have a Wolverine like I do. Pinless knees. You get your boot cut right there, completely hidden, and then obviously your ankle rocker. So this figure is a really good figure. I'm really happy with what they did with Scarlet to begin with. I thought they made this an excellent figure. Now they're going to reuse the buck, reuse this mold, and create some of these other figures, all the way going back to Glenda, which is coming with the Dragonfly. So a couple things with the quiver. The quiver does have 4 spots for arrows, for bolts. One of the biggest issues is you see how this goes on an angle? That means this one right here, well, there's not a lot of room to put that thing in there. So even if I take one of these bolts and I plug it in here, it kind of moves down here. I feel like this is going to make a liar out of me. So this one we can't put in. You got to put it in backwards. So you can put it in backwards. Maybe they're supposed to go in backwards. Am I wrong, guys? Are they supposed to go in backwards? I just totally made a liar out of myself here, because maybe if I put them all in backwards, which kind of makes sense, because then you would know what you're grabbing. I don't know. But this, it just jumbles up. That's my opinion. Let's see. I have her over here. And see, I have them in that way. So maybe that's what I was doing wrong. Maybe I was doing it wrong. And if I am, I do apologize, but there you go. So take this knife that we're never going to use because it's thick and useless. That's what she said. And we're going to plug that in there. You take this one here. I'm going to slide this up. Matter of fact, I think this goes to shooter. Now that I'm looking at this, I think this one goes to shooter. If you know what it is, please let me know in the comments. I don't go through all my figures and look and see what goes to what. Although you can see I kind of brought a few up here that I know that they do go to the figures. Then we have the M16. I'll be 100% honest. I'm probably going to use her with something other than the crossbow. As, let's be honest, that is, in my opinion, a Scarlet exclusive thing, right? Just like CoverGirl has her her javelins. All right, M16 is too big, but I have way too many weapons. I won't have to worry about that. So anyway, here's your Quarrel. Let's pop on the helmet. And you can see how she is. It looks just like a regular steel core figure. I will probably remove these so you can see these different logos. And I'm definitely interested to see if this is what she originally had. But let's throw around a couple motorcycles, because that's what a lot of people want to see. They want to know if this is how she's supposed to go. If they should, maybe they didn't get this. Maybe they didn't get this. And they want to know, hey, I want to recreate the original Action Force from Palatoy, that design here. So here's our original Ram Cycle. I think we can throw her on fairly easy. All right. And if you're wondering why I'm not doing any cuts, if you're new to the channel, it is because I like to show people what they're getting into right out of the box. No cuts, exactly how long is it going to take. And so this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal because I got 2 figures to do. So the color looks pretty good on her. I think it matches. I absolutely love the air piece. I think it really sets this figure off. All right. So there you go. That is her on the original Ram Cycle. Now what we're going to do is grab Gangster Shockwave, who's firing on an angle. I know that's not how you fire, but guess what? You try and fire that machine pistol normal on this figure, and his hands are all out of place. All right. So once we throw this on here, this is going to look a little bit different than how she came. So this might bother some people because some people are very anal about this when they want to recreate exactly what they had in the 80s. but the gray really does fit. So however you want to do it, this is up to you if this is what you want to do. But this is how she looks on the Ram Cycle, Night Force, and the normal one. Now let's get her off here. Let's throw her back here. We'll worry about Shockwave later on. And now let's get to Falcon. Now I already mentioned, from what I was told, Falcon was supposed to come in a 2-pack with the Dreadnought Heart Wrencher, which means Heart Wrencher is coming. Now you're asking, well, was it really that big of a deal? Did you really need to sell Quarrel that much? I think they did. And why would people want to buy this? Well, because of this face sculpt. Take that back. They want to buy this one because of this face sculpt. And this face sculpt is absolutely horrid. All right, it looks like he is melting. We've heard all the jokes. We've seen all the jokes, and I can tell you for a fact that the designers do not like this figure, the face sculpt. I think the figure is perfectly fine. Before you ask about the gun, this is a Mark to Toys gun. It is more like the shotgun that he should have. I'm not a big fan. Actually, the gun that he came with isn't awful. I just think this one looks really, really good. All right, so this here was meant so you could swap him out. And I really hate this piece too. I literally put this on just so I could show you guys. Oops. So here's the face sculpt. We're gonna pop this off, and I lost everything. And now you can pop on this sculpt, which you can see there is a huge difference. All right. Swap out the head, there's the beret, and there you have it, right? So it looks pretty good. That is something that a lot of people like. That's what they wanted. Again, this face sculpt, I can't tell you how bad it is, but you're gonna say, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, that's why they gave you the steel core head. Now, we'll quickly take a look at the steel core head. I'll pop it on there. It has the wings for the Night Force. Nice design. Paint all looks good. You can tell there's little cracks in it. Now they all look the same. And now this is not a helmet. So remember, this is going to pop on. The one thing that they made sure that they did was they used Outback. So this buck is Outback's buck. From what I can tell, this is all Outback. So here is Duke, new retro Duke. I'll pop off his head so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And that is, they use two different, actually I lied. These are different, right? Yeah, these are a little bit different. I think the head, oh, you know what? I don't know where the other one is. So I'm going to apologize because here I'm trying to show you. They use different neck joints. All right, so the head ball joint is different sizes on different characters. The older ones are using a bigger one. They made sure to use the proper one so you can swap it. I thought this was a smaller. It actually is a little bit smaller, I think, but not that much. So my bad. If you look at the original Duke, you'd see, I'm quickly scanning over my figures that I have close to me, which I don't have that. I actually have a lot, but I leave too many old ones. All right, Duke, you go back to your firing pose. Hopefully you'll stand there and not cause any problems for me. All right, I gotta grab my beret that I lost. All right, I'm gonna go back to the original one because we're gonna pop this head off. So, a lot of people are gonna buy this just for the head sculpt. And I think it looks better. It looks way better. But what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you something, and this was not something I found out. This was something that Unboxing Art told me. Is here is Grunt's head sculpt. Now, a lot of people have an extra Grunt. Why? Because they were 12 bucks by mistake at Target. So people bought them up. So this is Grunt's head. All right. Oh, perfect. Is he uses the old the old ball joint. So you're going to need a little bit of sticky tack. All right. You throw this on. Now you're going to say, well, now it just looks like Grunt. But once you put the beret on, it takes a whole new face. All right, you cannot tell that this is Grunt unless you're really looking at it, especially if Grunt has his helmet on. So if you are like, I want to get this, but I really don't want to spend $55 just to get that head sculpt. I don't care about Quarrel. I don't care about it. Use your Grunt. Probably have a second one. Grunt also comes with the steel core head, so you can use that with them. But there you go. That is what I do for my Falcon. Again, that is all thanks to unboxing art. All right, so let's get this on here. Get rid of this head. That head is awful. And now let's look at the accessories. Because you guys are like, I'm spending so much time here. Well, you're right. You are. All right, so what we have here is, we already showed you the helmet, kind of explained it. It looks good. Paint's in all the right spots where it's supposed to be. We have the quad nods. All right, now these are the exact same ones that come over here with our tunnel rat, except they're in black. I like the red. I think the red works. I think the green looks fine also. You don't want something that's going to stand out too much. These are just going to fit right over his head. And they can be used with many different figures. And I think they're actually pretty good. All right. This thing will stretch a little bit, so you can use it on some of the bigger heads also, I believe. But if you need someone going in the night, you have two different tunnel rats. You have his. You could grab, actually I think Shockwave comes with them because he has Firefly's loadout. So there you go with the nods. They look good. So here's where things get a little swirly. You have the flashlights from Tunnel Rat. All right. Now, this kind of goes back to what I said about, well, this kind of goes back to what I had said about the cuts when they do these figures, that they're kind of together. I don't really understand how this one comes. I would have expected him to have more of, I can't think of his name, Outback's stuff, but he doesn't. So you get these flashlights. These flashlights are really cool, but they're also pretty useless if you don't have the backpack, because there's nowhere for you to put them on them, right? They're small enough, they fit in the hand. The red does look really good. From what I understand, red is the lowest wavelength. That is why Navy ships use it when they're out at sea and stuff. Here we have this smaller pistol. It has a blast effect and has an extended magazine. I love extended magazines. I hate them when you're putting them on figures and you want to sit them because it will hit everything just because it's not natural. All right. This is a good looking pistol. I think G.I. Joe does a really good, I think they do a really good job with the pistols. Ooh, look at that cut in my hand. Hello there. Anyway, port for blast effect, got the trigger guard, and these figures are really easy to get their hand around it, no problem. It comes with this scarf. Now, I do believe this is the right scarf. I'm like looking over there and I see that Tunnel Rat has it. I hope I didn't grab Tunnel Rat's scarf. But anyway, he comes with a different scarf. This, I believe, came with, I don't know, someone tell me. I used to remember all this. When you get done reviewing over 150 G.I. Joe figures, not to mention everything else, you start going, oh, I can't remember. So anyway, this is going to go on there if you want it. I don't really care for it that much. So here's his original shotgun. And this is the one that he comes with. I don't mind the red. It works with the color palette. I don't think you really want red there, but it might work. This collapses, so you don't have to have it stock always there. You got 3 extra shells. All right, port for blast effects. I would love if this actually cocked back and forth, like a gridiron weapon of some sort. But hey, I'm not going to get too mad about that. So now here's where the funny stuff comes. Hopefully I hope the back piece stays on better than this. Although I got like 1,000 of these. Should have mentioned that. So this thing actually does move up and down. So it'll actually fit into his shoulder socket a little bit better. All right. So here we go. And, oh God, what figure does this go to again? Cobra. I can't think of his name. I can see them. There's a couple of them. Anyway, Tell me in the comments. I'll probably remember before I get done if I keep thinking about it. So here's a grenade launcher. This is gonna, it's supposed to rotate, and it technically will, but it's just a pain. It's got a scope on it. You get your trigger guard, and then you got your grip right up in the front. Port for blast effects, so maybe this works with some of the bigger Hasbro ones. Not a fan of Hasbro blast effects, to be 100% honest. All right. And then we have this machine gun. And again, both of these weapons go to the exact same character that I still can't think of his name. So this does come off. You got your painted bullets, all right? And I like the fact that these are actually feeding into it. Because technically, it does have a bullet belt. He doesn't, but the other one has a bullet belt that you can feed into this if you don't want to have the ammo canister. But the way that it feeds in, I like it because it will keep it on. All right, you get your grip in the front. You know, here's your grip in the back, trigger guard. Now, it looks like it doesn't have any stock, which I can't imagine firing a machine gun without a stock. Now, if Cobra wants to, that's fine. They're just, you know, they're weird. All right, so it does have a rail system. It'd be awesome if this stuff came off, but I don't expect it to. You got your port for blast effects. Not a bad gun. I just wish it had a stock. I think it would make it look that much better. We get his backpack. All right. Now, the big giant knife. We'll actually look at the knife first. This is a big knife. All right. Kind of thick. Not that bad, to be 100% honest. I love the silver blade. Now, if you're wondering, why do you have this big thing? Well, the original Falcon had a knife, and the knife went on the back of the backpack on the side like this, and that's all they were recreating. So this is going to slide right down there. You got the antenna. It is bent. We've seen this now, I know, with gridiron stuff. I don't know the purpose of it. If you were in the military and you know, please let me know. I love the fact that they did the canteens in green. I like that the cap is actually black. It's actually trying to make it easier so they don't have to paint that, but I actually like that. And then you get your green rope. Everything else is black, but the backpack is a nice looking pack. It would be awesome if it opened up and you could drop stuff in it, but they do a good job of making it look that way. All right. And now we'll take a look at our Falcon. This is what you guys have been waiting for. So now let's take a look at it. So quickly, the pauldrons look like they just come from the steel core. All right, so you got all these shells here. You got your 3 pouches, all the shells up here. Again, I believe it goes to the steel core. It obviously does not go to him. And then you have your Night Force logo right there. I hate these. They will be coming off. I will tell you that much right now. The buck is solely, from what I understand, this guy right over here, Outback. Yes, Outback is riding Battle Cat because he's got a big cat on him. If that's what you're wondering, why is Outback riding Battle Cat? Because he has a giant cat. All right, a giant tiger on his shirt, so he deserves to be riding Battle Cat. And I have a couple of them, so I don't have to worry about it. All right, so we looked at the face sculpt. I do think it looks good. All right, hair is pretty good. It's kind of what it would look like if it was flattened down. We have the beret. It has a different logo than what the original came on. I do think they do a really good job with the berets. I know a lot of people don't like berets because they say they'll never sit properly. My buddy Dreadnought Ryan has to say to that, we're talking about toys. Toys. We're talking about toys. All right, so there you go. Looking at the eyes, they are good. He doesn't have the same, like, blue eyes that the original came with. Now, that is one thing I really did like. I liked the eyes. They were just this nice blue. It did pop. Unfortunately, it made you pop and look at the figure that was so damn ugly. Eyebrows are good. Lips look good. Nothing is out of place. They've really come a long way, and they've fixed a lot of their crap that they've had, all right? You have the shells, as I kind of pointed out. They're painted nicely, and then you have, obviously, over here, gold shells and your pouches. You got some red shells down here. All right, down here. Oh. Not sure what that's for. Maybe we can fit one of these on here. Might be able to fit one of those in there. Probably, because I think this is, I believe this is the steel core the steel core overlays. Again, why these things are coming off. These don't look awful, and I think because he's got bare arms. But again, I don't want them. He's got the same watch that came with our man over there, Outback. I think it looks good. It's green, got the black. So it actually looks like a real watch. All right, all the way down, you got your holster here. No drop down, well, they're not drop down holsters. I know the military guys really like it because these things do come down. Here we have a couple, or 3 pouches. We got the boots with the laces. Everything looks good. Quickly, we can look down. We can look up. They really, like some of the older figures, they can look up really good. They need to fix that because there's a lot of sniper figures. I want to see them look up a little bit better, especially with the neck being on its own joint. So they were able to do it before. They need to redesign that and kind of fix that again. We're taking the pauldrons off because they're just in my way. All right. T-pose is, I don't like that. All right. So this arm is tight. Don't ever be He-Man. I was about to say Superman. Don't be Superman. So we're gonna have to loosen this. I know that this goes up more because it actually feeds into there. And you can see I'm gonna pull that arm off if I keep doing it. So heat that up. So T-pose, not the greatest here, although I know it's supposed to be better. Here's your bicep swivel, pinless double elbows. You got your wrist, they're gonna shift it back and forth. He does have an ab crunch. You can turn side to side. There is your Jean-Claude Van Damme, and believe me, he can normally get better than this, or at least he should be able to. But man, he does not get that good here. And man, it looks like, look at that. I don't know. I don't remember having an issue with him doing his Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, he can ride Battle Cat. See, his he can't because his stuff is in the way. But like this one, you can kind of see goes that way. Not that you guys care. You're like, all right, I've been here this long. I don't really care. Get back on Battle Cat, Outback. All right. Drop down hips. You got your thigh cut, pinless double knees, your boot cut. There you go. And then your ankle rockers. Very smooth. Figure feels good. He looks really weird. He almost looks kind of bare without the pauldrons. And maybe it's because he has this. Although he kind of looks like a, not a Navy SEAL, but just an operator that's been called in duty really quick. He has a shirt on. So there we go. I think I'd rather have him with the M16. But what we're going to do is we're going to throw the shotgun on him really quickly. And I will reiterate, I like to show you how this is right away. How it's going to be. Alright, and if you hear that in the background, that is my kids. And when I hear them starting to get louder, I feel like they're about to start fighting. So, there you go. Not the greatest shotgun. Actually, that doesn't look bad. Alright. I didn't forget to point out his hair. His hairy arms, and I think it actually looks pretty good. I know some people don't like that, but I think this actually does pretty good. It would be nice if maybe they put a little bit here so it kind of fades away rather than just have like a straight line where it just ends. But not that I'm really going to complain about. Again, our man Outback, his is the exact same way. So, actually I kind of like him with the shotgun, to be honest. Not that bad. Then we'll take this piece here, and this is what I was talking about. If you don't know, when you go to sit them, you see how long the magazine is. It's just something that kind of gets in the way. Valivers has a knife on the back of some of their plate carriers, and it sticks out. And that is how a lot of how knives are in some plate carriers, but it gets in the way because they're action figures. There's nothing that's soft on them. It's one of the things that I don't like about that. This is kind of the same thing. Now I can kind of move this out of the way, but if I want to sit them down, I usually have to remove this. We're going to see if we can get this. I don't think I can get that in there. But I don't remember what it used to hold. So I have to go get one of my figures and see, but you guys can get your own and figure it out. So here he is with the shotgun. Has pistol here. His knife already goes on here. Don't need to worry about that. So now he has his communication. But maybe we want to have these two guys, Quarrel and Falcon here, riding the bikes. We can do that in a second. But yeah, I kind of actually like the shotgun here. That actually looks pretty good. I think I might keep him with the shotgun, at least for a short bit. All right. Other thing I forgot to mention is Quarrel here. You just come with the hands that remove. That's how easy they come out. We'll grab the fists, throw the fists back in there. Not the fist action figures, because those weren't really good figures. So they pop in and out really easily. Here she is like, damn you, Palatoy. I don't know why I did that. I don't use the fist too often, unless you're punching someone. That's really all they're good for. Anyway, there we go. That is your review of your Quarrel and Falcon Night Force 2-pack Walmart exclusive. Man, I like this, and I want to go take pictures. And got this little Wolverine over here that she might take some pictures with this stuff too. But hey, let's move everything out of the way. And let's throw him on the Night Force bike. Because let's be honest, these guys are kind of like riding together, right? They're ride or die. I just watched Bad Boys Ride or Die last night. It's not like a lot of other Bad Boys. There's some kind of, I don't know, weird stuff in it. But all in all, it's actually a pretty decent, fun movie to watch. So look at that. Quarrel and Falcon just cruising through the town. Who doesn't cruise through the town on your motorcycles with your giant A10 Gatling gun, just ready to rip through anyone that maybe cuts you off? Imagine that. Imagine someone cutting you off and you're like, oh, you did not. All right. Enough of my rambling. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is my Falcon right there on his Night Force cycle. He stole it from Shockwave. Actually, he outranked Shockwave, so he's not stealing anything. And Quarrel's on Breaker. She probably outranks Breaker. I don't think Breaker was ranked too high, to be 100% honest. That's my review on him. I hope it was decent. It's a lot of stuff to go over, and I hope I went over everything. And I hope there was a little bit of an education level there for you guys. I'm not an educational channel, but let's be honest. Sometimes we all got to learn a little bit. And I think that this was actually pretty good. You guys kind of understand why they're packed the way they are. This is all from stuff that I've heard and that I've been told, and just doing a reasonable deduction of the reason why they did it. Again, Falcon was supposed to be with Heart Wrencher. They put her with Quarrel. Why didn't they put Quarrel with the Ram Cycle? Well, let's be honest. They needed to sell the Ram Cycle. And Quarrel, that one probably would have sat there. Walmart probably would have sold as many. People that really know Joe would have loved it. Others would have said, I hate this. So now you're saying, hey, this is the new Falcon head sculpt, but we're going to give you a steel core head sculpt if you want to change it. And we're going to give you Quarrel. People are going to pick it up. People are going to buy Heart Wrencher when Heart Wrencher comes out. And then you get a Ram Cycle and you're like, hey, this Shockwave looks really badass. We're going to get it. Now you have everything. Put them all together. Start playing with your toys. Switch them around. Do what you want. You know why? Because no one's coming to take it. No one is coming to take your toys from you. No one. Not even Pinkerton. But I think I've talked more than enough. What I do want to say is thank you to Bacon and Toys. I will drop a link in the description. So if you want to go read all about it, follow his blog. I found him while I was trying to find a picture. And again, you got to give people credit where credit is due. I'm out of here. Please, you stayed this long. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video. Now don't go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave right up here another video that I've done, and down here is going to be a playlist of all the G.I. Joe figures that I've reviewed. Take care.